On July 22, 2025, several significant government actions, legislative activities, enforcement initiatives, and public events took place in Ohio involving key agencies and officials. 1. Legislative activity and policy change on environmental regulation. Ohio's legislature passed an amendment as part of House Bill 96, directing the Ohio Environmental Protection Agency, Ohio EPA, to remove the air nuisance rule from the state implementation plan. This rule previously allowed residents to sue polluters for air quality violations. The Ohio EPA, led currently by Director Jared Smith, inferred from usual naming conventions, the spokesperson is Dina Pierce, has already begun the process of updating the plan to comply with this directive. This process will include public engagement, comment periods, and hearings before submission to the U.S. EPA. This marks the third legislative effort targeting this rule since 2020, initially removed during the Trump administration, reinstated in 2024 by the Biden EPA, and now removed again following recent legislation. Environmental advocates, like Joya Manjor from Sierra Club, criticized the repeal, noting the rule's utility in enforcing Clean Air Act standards. 2. Property tax relief legislation. Representative David Thomas voted to override $9 million in comprehensive literacy state development grants to 33 schools and districts statewide. These grants come from a $60 million federal grant from the U.S. Department of Education, positioning Ohio as a major recipient nationally. The funds aim to expand evidence-based literacy instruction for K-12 students, with an emphasis on underserved populations, while also facilitating professional development for educators. Initiatives include literacy coaching, family engagement strategies, and partnerships with community bodies like libraries and universities. This announcement reflects ongoing state priorities to enhance education quality and equity. Additional education-related updates on that date include an invitation for school districts to introduce wheelchair basketball as a sanctioned sport, ongoing data collection related to Grade 3 retention and promotion impacting school report cards through August 29, release of updated learning standards and model curriculum for high school financial literacy, and recently effective standards for identifying and serving gifted students. Public education funding debate. Governor DeWine expressed support for restoring more control over public education to the states, amid withholding of $185 million in federal funds intended for Ohio's high-poverty school districts and college financial aid programs by the U.S. Department of Education. Notably, Ohio has not joined a multi-state lawsuit challenging this federal action. The education funding dispute highlights ongoing tensions between state and federal education policy. Public health service changes. Planned Parenthood announced the closure of its reproductive health clinics in Springfield and Hamilton due to federal and state Medicaid budget cuts. However, gender-affirming care and abortion services remained accessible at its Dayton and Cincinnati clinics. This development reflects broader impacts of budget decisions on health service availability in Ohio. CIPS, Economic Development and Defense Contracting, Jobs Ohio. The state's Economic Development Organization awarded a 30-year contract and $310 million grant to Anduril Industries, a California-based defense contractor specializing in military drones and autonomous air vehicles. Anduril's Pickaway County production facility is planned to open in July 2026. This contract represents a significant investment in Ohio's manufacturing and defense sectors. In summary, Ohio's government actions on July 22, 2025 were characterized by notable legislative shifts in environmental regulation and property tax relief, substantial federal grant awards for education, ongoing debates over federal education funding, narrowed reproductive health services due to budget constraints, and a major economic development investment in defense manufacturing. Key officials include Governor Mike DeWine, Ohio EPA spokesperson Dina Pierce, Representative David Thomas, and Director Stephen D. Dakin of the Ohio Department of Education and Workforce. Relevant agencies involved were Ohio EPA, Ohio Department of Education and Workforce, Jobs Ohio, and Planned Parenthood clinics.